Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to be talking about travel, but from a very different perspective, I think, than what you're used to. It's not about the 10 places to go or travel in this destination in 24 hours or, girlfriend getaway, shop till you drop, or 100 ways to, 100 places to go find food and name a city. So it's not about any of those things. It's not about the external trappings we've been conditioned to believe what travel really is all about. I don't believe that to be true, which is no big surprise. I'm an ENTP, so I'm very unconventional in all my thought process. But I do believe that if we want to travel and bring home more than a souvenir or a tchotchke, and we want to come home feeling a little bit more enlightened, a little bit more aware of ourselves, we need to start setting travel intentions. And the intentions don't need to be this big, momentous thing that you put together. You don't need to buy anything. You don't need an app on your phone. You don't need any of that. That saying the best thing in life is free. It's pretty much a true statement. I'm learning. Look, I've got hair, I know. But it's pretty well proven. And for travel, I think we've been conditioned by society since we were young. Do this to get this, to go here, to do this, to be successful. We're always moving out. It's funny how our society has conditioned us to keep on moving forward, moving out ahead of ourselves. That's what I'm saying. When you're moving forward, you're not in stillness. You're not present. But you don't find peace in that. You don't find peace when you're always moving. You have to be in stillness to find peace. So, travel has taken on that same burden, that same conditioning. Travel is so much about doing. Go to this exotic place and surf, paddleboard, whatever. To charter the yacht, whatever, scuba dive. And I'm not saying you shouldn't do. What I'm saying is your whole vacation, again, is about doing, moving. Where is the time for stillness? To be conscious in the moment and really just soak in the beauty of what's around you. Just to be in awe that you're a part of a universe that has snow-capped mountains, that has water that just is so vast, it just meets the horizon and goes to where? Or the sandy beaches that have these beautiful, intricate seashells on them. All these things in nature that connect us back into our soul, because the source that created all that beauty created you. You're a beautiful soul. You're an eternal being, a very powerful, eternal being. And so many of us, have been conditioned to take a vacation to reach for something externally. I know this to be true. I'm still in the travel industry. Now it's a new way of being in the travel industry, but for decades, I did this. I was promoting, the shop till you drop packages, or, 24 hours in, name a city, right? That's crazy when you think about it. Who wants to get, you go from a busy life to be busy on your vacation, And I know a lot of people say, well, let's relax and rejuvenate, which some do. I think introverts do this way better than extroverts. But I think even introverts get caught up in this way of conditioning, way of being in the world, But I think we all have trappings of this because, introverts don't travel alone. They usually travel with somebody. Maybe not. That's not true. Maybe not to traveling. But you're still going to be what I meant by that is you're still going to be exposed to the external world, and that's usually pretty fast paced. Let's go, let's get her done, you know. And travel is really about not only connecting with others, but connecting within yourself, to enlighten yourself a little bit, to wake some things up in yourself, to just see and be and experience and quiet the mind. Quiet the mind so other things can enter. Does that make sense? So if you aren't familiar with who I am, my name is Nina Zapala. If this is your first time here, welcome in. Yay, you're here. I love it. You found me. Welcome in. And I talk about spiritual personality typing. And you're like, what the hell is she talking about? And what I'm talking about is personality typing with a spiritual understanding. And what that means is I totally believe you have to liberate your mind to free your soul, to get you back to who you're meant to be. Because if your mind's all clouded and in fear and busy and just nonstop, your soul can't break into that. It's on a much higher energy. It's much more evolved than the external world we live in. The consumerism, the doing, the competing, the trying to be like somebody else, the judging. Oh my God, can't go on. I'd be here all day. But you know what I'm talking about, right? It's just all those things where we're so busy with the external world, our minds and our thinking, and what are you feeling? What is she feeling? I don't know. Like, what's that all about? We do that constantly to ourselves. But I believe there's a better way. I believe your personality needs to be a servant to your soul self, because your soul self is connected to the source of all there is. That's what you were meant to do here on earth. But unfortunately, we've been so conditioned to think otherwise, to just think through the mind only, the logical side of life. There's a place for it, obviously. We live in a dualistic world. There's definitely a place for that. But what if, just what if, your soul led you and you connect into divine intelligence, the source that created all this beauty around you and created you right along with it to enjoy it all? How are you enjoying it? Are you enjoying it? Do you even enjoy it when you travel? Or are you so busy trying to do and make the quota, or go to the destination so you can come home and talk about it? So what is that, 5-second conversation, 5-minute conversation? And everyone's like, ooh, wow, that was cool. I can't believe you went there. Then what? Then what? What do you really have? I got to do another one. And another one, another. No. You need to travel now with more intention. You need to travel with intention for your soul self. Take those times. Become the observer. Sit with yourself. Sit in stillness and just sit back. And just realize who you really are. And all the abundance that's around you, all the magnificence that's around you. And just take those moments to really appreciate that. I'm not saying take a vacation and just sit on a bench the whole time. That's not what I'm saying. Don't misunderstand that. But I do want you to carve out and schedule some time for reflection, for moments of stillness, to really appreciate what life really is. It's about all of us connecting and being with one another and sharing our gifts. Being the loving beings we're meant to be. And if you're really interested in finding out more about your personality and how it shows up on vacation, I do travel sessions. They're one-to-one sessions, and we'll look at your personality type, and I'll tell you how you show up on vacation. What are the best places for you to go? How you show up as a parent? What some triggers are going to show up? Like, how are you going to be triggered? I show you all those things. Because once you start getting into your personality type, and once you start really understanding it, the cool thing is everything else kind of falls into place. Because you're not worried about stuff anymore. Because you're like, oh no, I don't do that, so that's not my personality type. So no, that's not good. That's not going to work for me. I already know that. It's not that you narrow yourself down, but you narrow down the commotion and the chaos that comes at you daily with all the information. I think, you Google beach vacation, it's like, 17 billion places to go. Do you really need to sort through all that? No, you don't. But if you know your personality type, you're like, no, I like this. I know what I really like. When you know what you like, Abraham Hicks, right? When you know what you like, you really know what you don't like. Or when you know what you don't like, you can hone in on what you do like. And your personality type helps you do that. Right? And then if you intentionally have a practice of stillness, a travel mindset of actually slowing down, bringing yourself into the present moment, get grounded in the present moment. Don't think about the reservations or the trolley you have to catch, or you need to go here, visit here, because if you miss it, oh my God, the world's going to end. None of that stuff matters as much as you. Right? What matters most? You matter most. So take care of you first. Find those moments of stillness. And I don't care if you're traveling with a family, get up a little bit earlier, 20 minutes. You go down to the beach, or take the hike, or just wander the city before everyone wakes up. Just wander around the city and marvel at the architecture. Window shop. It's like, oh, that's a cool idea. Well, get into the culture. Like, what do they do? Maybe you'll meet somebody opening up for breakfast. Who knows? But if you don't explore that, if you don't take time to be there with yourself, and you're very conscious of it, and you're very present in the moment, that's what brings you peace. That's what connects you with yourself, with your soul self, that higher self. And once you start feeding that connection, you start getting messages from divine intelligence, which pushes out inspired actions. It's really amazing. Serendipitous moments become like your everyday. It's really a fun way to travel, so much more beyond than just, unbridled consumerism, which we've been taught to do. We've been taught to do that. It's how everybody makes money. And I want people to make money. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all, but I'm saying there's more to a vacation than this doing, And honestly, I've talked to a lot of travelers, and they almost feel like, oh my God, they feel bad because they haven't done enough. We've been so programmed to think you have to do, but they feel bad that they haven't done enough. And then they get home and they've gained weight because they've just ate their way through whatever. Or they drank too much. Or they've overspent on their credit cards, And they didn't really connect in with each other. Their friends, because they were so busy doing. They just didn't connect. They didn't connect with themselves. They didn't connect with each other. And they didn't really connect with the soul of the place. And that, my friend, means you're missing out on so much when you travel. You're missing out on so much. You don't want to do that. You want to travel and be in touch with yourself. And then experience that. And once you start doing that, those serendipitous moments, oh my God, they're so much fun on vacations. It's like incredible. Like I've eaten, like had cocoa tea in somebody's house. I was in the back of a leather shop talking to 3 generations of leather makers in Italy. I was back at another shop in Italy and I was looking at Murano glass, like their home collection, which wasn't apparent in the store, but I was just so into the moment. I was so just enthralled with the beauty of it. And the owner saw that. She saw that I was being so genuinely true to myself. I was being authentic. I was being my true self. That she invited me to this other room, and oh my God, it was just all this Murano glass. I've never seen such beautiful pieces of Murano glass. I'm talking like big statues and just flower chandeliers, and it was just the most amazing moment. I was awestruck. Serendipitous moments, serendipitous moments, serendipitous moments. They just show up because you're connected. You're connected to yourself, which is connected to all there is. That's how you co-create. I tell you, I want to co-create with all there is than looking for something in the external world that I'm never going to really find. It's never going to really satisfy me because it always pushes me to the next thing. Because that's how we're conditioned. Do the next thing. Do the next thing. Do the next thing. So what I've done is I've written up all the personality types, 16 Myers-Briggs types, and I've just given you just a little sentence just to start getting those intentions going for you. So when you take your next vacation, like you can bookmark this blog page and come back and go, oh, this is interesting. And these are just my ideas, my interpretations. You know yourself better than I'll ever know you. And I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to inspire you to try to think differently. There's a big difference. I'm inspiring you to see personality typing from a spiritual perspective. Let your spirit lead you, and then fully express it through your personality type. So fully express your soul self through your personality type. We've been taught just the opposite. You know, we're like, oh, my soul can come out and play on Sunday when I go to whatever, service, mass, whatever. Or my soul can come out when I pray. What? What the hell? What is that? That's so not true. Your soul is leading every single moment of your life. It's what it is. It's how you're meant to be. You're soul-led, not mind-led, soul-led. Your mind is the servant. Your mind serves the soul. The funny thing is, your soul doesn't exist without your personality type. That's how it expresses itself in the world. I know. Pretty interesting, right? So I want you to look on the blog and look for hopefully you know your personality type. If you don't, just there's free tests everywhere. Like Trudy is a good site. Personality Max is a good site. And of course, the Myers-Briggs type indicator, that's where I got certified. They have a really good test, like $45. But you should know your type. I mean, because obviously without that, you know, you're not going to know which personality type to look at. I'm not stereotyping. I'm just giving you an idea. This is just a jumping off point for you, right? To start learning and start looking at personality typing, move it away from just career typology, because you're obviously way more than your career. The Great Resignation tells us this. They tell us so, right? There's a great resignation. There's a great awakening. I want you to have your own great awakening, learning that your spiritual self is in charge and is who you are. Your mind, your persona, your psyche is the servant. It supports the soul. It has a secondary role in your life. It's not primary. And boy, we've got that all backwards, don't we? Everything's logical. I'm thinking about it all. You know, that mind is just like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I know. So we've got that kind of backwards. So I want us to start shifting that perspective, okay? Shifting and shifting. You know, it's very interesting to think about that. It's very interesting. And it's not what I'm saying like you can't use this for your career, because you definitely can. But it's at a much different level than what are your strengths and your weaknesses. That's all, whatever. It's a totally different thing. I'll have to do a different video on that. But I believe when you travel, if we could start setting intentions and time for moments of stillness, you will come home, I believe, with a better understanding of who you are. So much better than a souvenir, right? A suitcase full of souvenirs that eventually, go to Goodwill? You know, I do have some coveted souvenirs though from travel that I do love. So I won't say I'll never get a souvenir, but I'm saying, it's, shop till you drop type of mentality is what I'm talking about. Yes, if your soul is saying, oh my God, I love this, and it sparks you. By all means, of course, I'm not telling you not to shop. I'm not telling you to do any of those things, but I think we overindulge in that. It's out of balance. Let's bring some more balance into travel. Does it make sense? I want to bring some balance into travel. I want it to be more about, enlightenment and learning about your personality type. So it becomes more of a flow with you instead of, being stuck or being in fear and, having a lack mindset. Because all that stuff is perpetuated by an unhealthy personality type. Because how you show up in the world is indicated through your traits. You are not your personality. I can't stress that any more than saying it again. You are not your personality type. You are highly influenced by your personality type. Traits. You're influenced by your personality type traits. Traits influence you. But that doesn't mean you're a trait. Okay? So I want you to explore the blog. It is about travel. It does have the 16 personality types. And I did like a little sentence or two just to help you kind of get you thinking in this direction. Please do what you want. Journal on this, And I think before you even take your next vacation, why not ask your soul self? Why not go into like a meditation or, a meditative walk, or, when you're doing your yoga, like, soul self, higher me, higher self, higher me. What would really spark you for a vacation? What would you like to do? And ask yourself that question. Ask your inner self. Ask your inner travel guide, right? That's the soul. Ask your inner guide. Or say a prayer before you go to bed, or make a request before you go to bed. Ask Spirit. Say, Spirit, I really want to go on a sorry, my nose just got so itchy. Say, Spirit, I really want to go on a very enlightened vacation this time. What do you suggest? And I guarantee you'll wake up with an answer. If not, do it the next day, and do it the next day, do it the next day. So I hope you enjoy this. I love talking about spiritual personality typing. It's a brand new paradigm in personality typing. And it's really made to connect you deeper into yourself, because it's spirit and mind-led instead of just mind. Okay, let's just talk about the mind. Well, you can't just talk about the mind, because you're a soul and a physical. You're a physical and non-physical being. So it doesn't really make sense, does it? I know, but we've been conditioned to believe that's the way to do it. That's not the way to do it. And your body's in there too, because it's body, mind, and spirit. Because if you're really in tune, when you're making your decisions, your body will also let you know. It's like intrinsically connected with the mind and soul. It's all connected. Of course, it's three: body, mind, and soul. Universal law of three. Yeah, so it's really an interesting concept. I hope you're enjoying these videos. I'm not sitting outside today because you can tell like I'm getting bit up. I think that's what's biting my nose. I have a mosquito that's just like biting me. So I'm not outside today, but you know I love my outdoors. But you can see a little bit of it. See my backyard? Can you see the backyard? Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's so pretty, isn't it? It's just so pretty outside. I love my backyard. But it was too mosquito-y today, so I said, gotta come back inside. Anyhow, guys, I really appreciate you watching these videos. If you like them, hit the like button. You know the YouTube stuff. Like, share, subscribe. I know that's so old, but you know, we got to talk about it. You know, because I like talking about this stuff. And really, if you seriously know somebody that you think would enjoy this, share it with them. I'd be honored. Really honored. So like, subscribe, and we'll see you back here next week. Let me know what kind of vacation you take. I hope you do set the intention of taking a soul-inspired vacation instead of a vanity vacation, which is driven by consumerism and doing. Two very different types of vacation. All for now. Much love. Nina.